Hi there, this is Jim Coe. A little bit about me. I'm part artist, part geek, part writer, and I'm completely curious about everything. What I want out of life is very simple. I just want to know everything about everything. So I have a lot of interests, and my interests include art in general, 3D modeling, of course, fine art photography, of course, teaching and writing, and I'm very interested in physics and science and cosmology, and I like to read science fiction, and I'm extremely interested in aviation, and the list goes on. My natural thrills are light and color. I earned my BFA degree from the San Francisco Art Institute. That's where I also was a teacher, teaching several day, evening, and Saturday fine art photography classes. For the last 3 decades or more, I've made my living as a personal computer consultant and also by designing, creating, and marketing websites. In fact, I built my first personal computer back in 1976, which was built from kits and surplus parts just a few months after Bill Gates and Paul Allen built their first computer. So that was my start in personal computing, and started my interest also in digital art. So let's talk about digital art. And my digital art is a lot like what I used to do when I was a kid, where one of my hobbies was to make models and then pose those models in miniature scenes that I made and then photograph those. Since I started doing photography when I was 9 years old, one of my first photo interests was to photograph my models and in their model scenes. Of course, nowadays my 3D scenes are entirely digital, and I start out by creating 3D models in a 3D sculpting program, although I should explain that 3D animal figures and 3D human figures are beyond my skill and are very complex to build. And then I pose those models, both the ones that I make myself and the ones that I buy, I pose them inside DAZ Studio, and also add clothing, textures, hair, and things like that. So then I add my 3D models into my 3D natural environment program, which is Vue, Vue Infinite, and in there I can do my final posing, add all of the textures, skin shaders, all of the realism effects, add in all of the props, the atmospheres, the cloud systems, water bodies, vegetation, terrains. Then of course I create all my light sources and do all my 3D lighting inside Vue. Also inside Vue I have my simulated 3D camera, my virtual camera, and with that I make the 2D renders, which is what you've seen. I like scenes that tell a story well, whether those images are realistic or abstract ones. My 3D scenes are imaginary ones, and the subject matter is just whatever comes into my imagination. Well, I think that's enough about me and my art endeavors. Thanks very much for viewing my video.